Come then thou shalt be
Who
weeded.
treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet?
No, he wanted to just pull right away, but not when... Dude.
Thou hast forgotten the face of thy lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Nah, I fear nothing. Except ourselves because of fucking evil. Hello. No bosses where I can just stand close and don't worry about positions. Okay, there you go. Sorry for not talking, but I'm really trying to do my positions. Okay, there you go. That's why you turn it away! You stupid tank! That's what. and I'm committed. And I leveled up. Nice. This tank is an enigma to me. Starts off with being big pulling, and then after the second boss it's just nah, I'm not feeling big pulls. No, after the first boss, big pulling anymore. And then when the boss says like, yeah, let me just not let people watch the cutscene and just pull right away. Dude, be consistent at least. Anyway.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve.
Okay.
Speak, mortal, and I shall listen.
I don't really speak though. Yeah.
Guided by a star.
Yeah, the
My
Ashgardians
people
believe in stars
have
for some
heard
reason.
the song. Ishgard shall burn.
Why though? Why? Can you just not burn them?
Sons must answer for their father's
No.
misdeeds.
That's stupid.
We do not forget. We do not
That's
forgive.
stupid.
7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end.
How about no?
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same thing.
Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
Can you be a cool dragon, please? You got a cool name. I like Midgard. That looks like hurting. Oh, I'm fine. But you don't know how hurt is. You just... You know all those 100 episodes we did to collect these? Yeah. Those 100 episodes. It's now gone. Thanks to one dragon. But hey, as if I needed these anyway. Let me at him, I'm gonna kill them all. one more. Get myself something to drink.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker.
Lemon iced tea. There you go.
Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine.
Fair enough. But you kinda just took away a shield?
I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
Would appreciate it if you didn't do
Didst
that.
profit much by her grace, but no more.
And it's kinda rude, to be honest. But hey, it's a mini dragon, it's a mini Midgazoma. I think that's a fair trade.
The covenant binds me to thee.
Hey. Sure, Midgazoma, this is a fair trade.
I shall watch, listen, and wait.
Hey, sure.
Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and fenced of mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice.
Okay. Sure.
The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
But an end to who? That's the question. Or an end to what? You may summon Midgazoma by selecting corresponding entry within the mini guide on character domain menu. Yeah! We can summon Midgazoma now. Fair trade. I was going to further west, where those explosions I saw. Ah, but you shouldn't waste time talking to me with me. Alphonor left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stone at once. That's the right one. Auto run is nice. I like auto run. A good way to check stuff while I'm traveling between places. Anyway, let's see what Alphino has to say. Hello, Lucia. I did the deed. Praised it well that you are healed and whole. I came as soon as Minfield informed me of Sir Emmerich's request. You have completed your investigation of Keeper of the Lake, I take it? Then I would hear the report. Sure. You converse with Midgardsormr, I swear. Were anyone else to make such claim, I would regard it as considerable skepticism. I have to understand that the worm of law did not perish, and has no suit lain dormant these past 15 years. Lesser resurrection and more rejuvenation for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Duranian is a grave but necessary list. Let's forget men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection, and for the sake of Tinius' relation with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. Yeah, but they can talk in normal language anyway. And it's like an ancient dragon. Like the King of Kings, as you said. Why couldn't you talk to us? Anyway, as for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emmerich's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Is there something you are not telling us, Drazor? You seem different somehow. It's almost as if you're missing something. Something important. 12 offend. Midgardsormr stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you right? How do you feel? Nah, I'm alright. I punched stuff anyway. I see. It's a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. Yeah. It's not like my fist got nerfed. Yeah. Still gonna punch him. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of a blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when waters came into existence, so did the great worm. Althik and Nemea, brother Time and sister Faith, decreed that Midgardsormr ever to watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and was not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself. Well, if he's watching over you as you claim, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Yeah. Hello. Art thou a pawn or master of thy faith? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? Hey, I just punch stuff. Don't blame me. Yeah. Hey dude, if I get machinist next time, it's gonna just continue. Hey, have you heard of a
My
gun?
friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the wormlord and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, I punched it. Easy. Easy clap. Can't beat me. It will be years. I tell you.
I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature.
Their
Will they be enough to
is
repel a
literally
massive force?
the only nation except for Garlemald that has
Ishgard has weathered
has
countless
anti-air.
assaults over centuries.
That is
this
not
will be
magic.
no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened.
And the closest besides them are like naval
I dare
cannons.
not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Okay. These guardians have warred with Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have the enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yeah, but they have breached their defenses, but only their outermost defenses. I think, like they said, they lost like the outer keep on every side basically, with the exception of like in central they only lost the ice vigil and the other place, 2 places, but they still have 2 forts remaining. But yeah, city proper is still standing strong. Yet regardless of how strong these magical walls may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardian are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgard's own who roared, to call arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored, until such time as they choose to request our aid. However, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. Eater on demand. I forget, I believe Mumbrida has requested a gathering of science. I assume there have been some progress concerning our effort to combat the Asians. Pray inform her that our business with the Guardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be alone once I completed my communication with the Crystal Braves. Oh, you're talking to Horribolder and Coltonut. Horribolder, my man. You're a bro. He's the man. All done with talk of dragons. Wonderful, because Asians are next on the menu. Let's head into the solo, shall we? Sure. Fast as fuck, boy.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon.
Nice.
I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Ooh.
Well,
Go.
don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Asian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the Void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Yeah, we know.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Yeah.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Yes, it's literally only done it once.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see,
since we couldn't
there's
trap
no
it,
way to gauge how
we
much
couldn't
ether its soul is made of.
do it.
As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether.
Yeah. Quite a lot.
Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether,
Yeah, we
can't
thought about this before.
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as
Yeah.
though I'm reliving the same scene over and over.
We
with
are.
you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
The test is never
right,
gonna
yes. It's all coming back to me.
So
don't
our
worry
hopes
about
rest
it.
on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Yeah.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove
We'll
that a
literally
similar
use
quantity
2
was
ships.
needed to destroy an Ascian soul? Or still more?
Dude. Oh.
I do not
That
envy
was a
the poor
great-
sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
Yeah.
That's the very problem we
Let's
set out
just
to
get
solve.
6 ships
And I
worth of
reckon we've found the
corrupted
answer.
crystals.
If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
Oh.
If you mean to tap the great river of ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Yeah.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
That's true.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say?
Oh.
If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
That would be useful indeed.
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
Hey.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out.
So you're already
Thing
starting
is,
on testing.
the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Eh? What matter?
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Oh no.
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arceans will next appear.
True.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalymo shall accompany you.
Ooh. Papalymo is with me. And Thangred.
Ida and
Just the
Yashtola,
dudes out
in the
journey.
meantime, I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
Me and my dudes out killing Garleans.
If it please you,
Like being
I shall
back in-
continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger.
I'm not going to say that.
Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you're able. Go well, and be safe.
I'm not gonna say it. That would not be appropriate for the situation. But anyway,